he has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division.
But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
Of the opponent. But anybody that's watched Terence Crawford's career knows full well how much talent this young man has. I mean, he is absolutely sensational, both as an orthodox and as a southpaw fighter. You can't really tell which is his favoured side.
ESPN analysts Stan Raphael and Stephen A. Smith explain why Terence Crawford would destroy Canelo Alvarez. They point out that while Canelo once had an iron chin, recent fights showed signs of vulnerability, with him getting tagged and hurt more often. Crawford's unique combination of slick movement, sharp timing, and punching power makes him a nightmare matchup. According to them, Crawford has the tools to outbox and hurt Canelo decisively.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go back way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media, and I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention, and he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hype about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round 1, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was like, 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
Stephen A. Smith gives a bold and decisive view when addressing the upcoming fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Without hesitation, he aligns himself with Crawford, stating that he has complete confidence in his ability to secure victory. For Smith, what sets Crawford apart is not only his technical skill, but also his hunger to achieve this win. He emphasizes that Crawford's mindset and determination to prove himself will play a crucial role in the outcome. The confidence Smith shows illustrates how highly he values Crawford's ambition and the relentless drive that fuels his preparation.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love
Who
boxing.
gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud,
Right.
it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
That's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's gonna go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always ready.
always prepared.
He's always ready. He's
give him
always
that.
prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster. But I don't think he's going to knock him.
Steady Atlas adds weight to Crawford's corner by emphasizing the concept of skill over size. According to him, physical dimensions such as weight or reach cannot outweigh the mastery of boxing techniques. He highlights that Crawford's style is defined by precision, timing, and adaptability, qualities that carry far more influence than sheer physicality. In Atlas's view, Canelo's strength and bulk become less effective against a fighter who knows how to dismantle opponents through pure technical skill. His perspective reinforces the belief that true mastery of the sport can often neutralize physical disadvantages and shift the balance in crucial matchups.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class. Can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Al Bernstein highlights another dimension of Crawford's abilities, unpredictability. He explains that Crawford does not follow a rigid or predictable approach in the ring. Instead, he adapts mid-fight, creating challenges for his opponents who struggle to read his next move. Against a boxer like Canelo, who thrives on timing and counterattacks, this unpredictability becomes a serious obstacle. Bernstein notes that Crawford's capacity to shift between orthodox and southpaw stances adds another layer of difficulty. This versatility makes it harder for Canelo to anticipate attacks, leaving him vulnerable to combinations he may not see coming.
Most fans or most people would probably say Crawford, I'm guessing, because that's a big part of how he's won, and everybody feels that and rightfully so, that the way he's figured out, he's constantly changing from lefty to righty. He's a person that alters his attack. Sometimes he's a boxer, sometimes he's walking people down. Canelo's style is more the same in most fights. He is a counterpuncher who's waiting for you to make your move so he can counterpunch you. Then when he has you in trouble, he's willing to move forward. His attack is a pretty straightforward one. On the face of it, you might say Crawford, but I think the thing about Canelo Alvarez is that he has seen every style that you can see.
Gareth A. Davis turns his attention to Terence Crawford's extensive experience, highlighting that the American has been competing professionally for over 15 years. This remarkable longevity in the sport has sharpened his instincts, refined his ring IQ, and given him the ability to stay calm under extreme pressure. Davis stresses that Crawford's skill set has never been in question, pointing out that his resume reflects consistent excellence against top-tier opponents. Over the years, Crawford has faced a variety of styles, power punchers, slick movers, and resilient veterans, yet he has always found a way to adapt and overcome. This adaptability, paired with his patience and technical brilliance, has earned him a reputation as one of the most complete fighters of his generation. According to Davis, such experience provides Crawford with a unique advantage that cannot be dismissed, especially when envisioning an upcoming showdown with Canelo Alvarez.
The levels that he's gone through, the weights that he's gone through, and the opponents that he has been in with, he's come up short against a couple, but he's come through some big challenges as well through his, 65, 66 professional bouts since he was 15 years of age. There's no doubt that this is the biggest test of Terence Crawford's career, not only because of the weight step up, but also because of the level of the opponent. But anybody that's watched Terence Crawford's career knows full well how much talent this young man has. He is absolutely sensational, both as an orthodox and as a southpaw fighter. You can't really tell which is his favoured side. He's that good, the angles that he creates, and the way that he not only dissects people, but the way that he puts his foot down when he gets somebody hurt is
he's spiteful.
He's truly, truly impressive.
But what he also does, and this is where I think people are making the mistake with the fight with Israel Madrimov last summer in Los Angeles, was that Terence doesn't mind doing enough to win. He doesn't. If he knows he's got to win on points, he's happy to tuck everything neatly in the office and win round by round. It reminds me of Floyd Mayweather. It reminds me of Pernell Whitaker. It reminds me of guys that win with ease without overstretching themselves, that don't have to get in a battle. But when he's got someone hurt, as you rightly say, he's spiteful. I'm not sure he'll get Canelo hurt in this fight. But if his timing and his movement are on, the slightly slowed Canelo, who likes to load up these days, could find himself frustrated by Terence Crawford.
Yeah, and there's also the aspect of when he is behind. I mean, we've all seen that famous clip where he's fighting Sean Porter. Somebody sells him ringside. They've got him down on the cards. He goes through the gears and stops Sean Porter in the very next round. There's also that element to him. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. But he's also fighting someone that's equally as brilliant. A very different type of style, Canelo.
And a fan favourite.
Confidence becomes a recurring theme when analyzing Crawford. An analyst points out that his performances and sparring sessions have left a lasting impression on trainers and fighters who worked alongside him. These stories suggest that Crawford consistently proves his brilliance even outside official bouts. His ability to dominate in training reflects a fighter who is always prepared and never careless in his craft. Confidence drawn from such consistent excellence strengthens his mental toughness. This level of self-assurance gives him the ability to step into the ring believing he can outthink and outperform anyone, including Canelo.
Man is so confident. He's so confident that he's about to become undisputed. Listen. 2 weeks to go, less than 2 weeks to go now. What? We're talking about 12 days. 12 days. What can we expect from this unbelievable showdown? Listen, the build-up has been absolutely incredible. When you talk about the sparring stories, when you talk about the unbelievable rumors that we've been hearing for the past 10 to 12 weeks, but Crawford's power carry? Will Canelo age overnight? So many questions that we have when it comes to this unbelievable fight. But not too long to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to find out the truth. We are about to find out who's truly the greatest of this era. And let me tell you this. I said this in most of my videos so far. The more I watch Bud Crawford and the more I watch Canelo Alvarez tape, the more my appreciation for both men increases. Listen, Canelo is the greatest pressure/counter puncher in history when he puts both together. And Crawford is the most dynamic fighters my eyes ever saw. Ever saw. Now, listen to this. The moment this fight got announced, we didn't know the things that we know now. We didn't know about their sparring partners. We didn't know about the shape that they were gonna come in for this fight.
Ari Spears, a comedian and passionate boxing fan, gave his own historical perspective on the fight. He looked back at decades of matchups where some of Mexico's greatest champions went up against American fighters known for speed and skill. In many of those classic bouts, the American side came out on top largely because of their ability to defend, slip punches, and control rhythm with sharp counters. Spears noted that Canelo is a complete fighter with experience against the best, yet he suggested this contest continues a long tradition of contrasting styles where timing, defense, and adaptability often prove decisive.
Take a top-notch Hispanic fighter, put him against the top-notch black fighter, the black dude usually edges him out. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Latino fighters, because look at the greats. De La Hoya, motherfucking
Roberto Duran,
Arguello, Felix Trinidad, what's my man's name? Chavez.
Mm-hmm.
So there have been legends, but 9 times out of 10, when the top Mexican legend takes on the top black legend, the black dude wins. Boxing and basketball is just something that niggas just, we got that wop that just, we edge you out. We edge you out. Duran lost to Hagler. He got knocked out so viciously by Hearns. The rumor is he's still waking up today. He lost to he did the no-mas with Leonard.
Yeah, no, I've been hanging out with Sugar Ray Leonard recently. We talked about that whole situation.
De La Hoya lost to Floyd. Yeah. He lost to Bernard. He lost to Sugar Shane Mosley. Usually the black fighters edge out the Latinos when it come down to it.
So basically you're saying Crawford's going to win because he's black.
I'm saying he's going to win because he's got skills. But that black component, that's that extra juice.
That's that extra juice? I mean, look.
It's like the Batmobile when it's going fast, and then he hits the nitro button, and the flame shoots out of the back of the car and takes it to another level. Black dudes have the nitro switch.
On the other side, Canelo Alvarez expresses his usual assurance. He dismisses the need for outside validation, declaring that he does not need anyone's approval to confirm his greatness. For Canelo, self-belief has always been central to his identity as a fighter. His track record of victories against top opponents provides evidence for this confidence. Yet, his stance also highlights the difference in mentality between him and Crawford. While Crawford seeks to prove himself and chase a defining win, Canelo portrays himself as already established at the pinnacle of boxing.
The performance that you know you're going to have, right? They can't deny you anymore.
I don't know, but I don't give a fuck, dude. So, I feel I'm the best, and that's it. I don't focus on if the people say or put me in the first position, I'm the best. I feel I'm the best. I'm doing because I love boxing.
I call Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. This is my mega fight. This is my moment.
You didn't have much interest in this Crawford fight. You were saying that there wasn't much in it for you, and you pointed out that people will say that he was too small. What changed?
I think he's one of the best fighters for more fun. He accomplished a lot of things too. Mexican with the American fighter is always big.
When he fights you at Allegiant Stadium, I imagine it's going to be, 55,000 plus screaming Canelo fans, right? Many from Mexico.
Sean Porter speaks with full conviction about Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez. He believes Crawford's preparation and mindset are operating at a level rarely seen in the sport. According to Porter, Crawford will step into the ring with a unique game plan designed specifically to dismantle Canelo's style. He highlights Crawford's sharp speed, flawless timing, and disciplined execution as the key factors that will separate him on fight night. Porter envisions a performance so complete that it could redefine expectations in modern boxing, cementing Crawford's reputation with one of the most commanding victories in recent memory. This fight is being promoted as one of the toughest and most defining moments in Terence Crawford's career. Many view Canelo Alvarez as the highest caliber opponent Crawford has ever faced, making the stakes enormous. For Canelo, the pressure is just as heavy. A loss to Crawford, who is naturally the smaller man stepping up in weight, could stain his otherwise remarkable legacy. In boxing, history tends to judge these moments harshly, especially when a bigger champion falls to a lighter challenger. That is why for Canelo, victory is more than pride, it is vital to secure his standing among the all-time greats.
Canelo's legacy. And he gave a resounding yeah. A resounding yeah. He said it would massively tarnish Canelo's legacy. And some of the things that he said were just basically things that most of us know, just some register and make sure that other people know and others don't, right? But it would tarnish his legacy, and for the obvious reasons. One is, we know that the guy's older. Crawford's older. He's going to be 38 years old here, right? So he's an older fighter. He's an inactive fighter, right? And most of the time, these are things that, make people say that people are going to lose. Man, he's inactive. So he's pretty inactive, hasn't fought in a year, hasn't fought more than once a year in 3 to 4 years, maybe even 5 years. And also, he's coming up in weight.
Showbiz the Adult, a respected voice in boxing analysis, approached the Crawford vs. Canelo matchup with balance and fairness. He emphasized that Canelo's success has long been built on his toughness, strength, and ability to apply steady pressure, breaking opponents down with precision counters and relentless pace. His durability in the ring and knack for setting traps make him a dangerous challenge for anyone. On the other hand, Showbiz pointed out Crawford's wrestling roots, which shaped his sense of balance, control, and anticipation. These qualities, combined with his sharp boxing IQ, give him a unique edge that few fighters possess.
He uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage, and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. but Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below.
That's it for today's video.